everyone. I just finished my words. It's been a long week because I just finished my first week of hybrid teaching, which has been, it's been something. It's definitely a new experience, and it is comforting to know that everyone is kind of on the same level. We've all been experiencing the same struggles as teachers, whether it's not knowing how to do something or just forgetting about either our live classes or our remote classes. So we're all doing great. But either way, I wanted to start this vlog and do a nice little relaxing weekend reading vlog. It is supposed to rain all weekend, which is my favorite type of weather. And honestly, I expect to read all weekend because I'm exhausted and I'm not going to do anything else because we're still in a pandemic, and why would I do anything else? So I have my focus on one book, really, and that is The Island of Sea Women by Lisa C. I am still working my way through this book. I have not made any progress in, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks probably. I'm only 50 pages in. Nothing has happened on my end on this book. But it is, I believe, focusing on two women and mainly their friendship through their decades of knowing each other. It starts pre-World War I. Blech. Again, it's been a long week. It starts pre-World War II in the 1930s when these two women are first learning their island trade of women divers, which is a pretty unique occupation to Jeju Island in South Korea, where this diving is exclusively women for a variety of reasons. And this book really is interesting because it goes, as far as I've gone, which again, disclaimer, not that far. It's going back and forth between time where one woman, it was Young Sok. She's about 80 in present day, and she is observing how sea diving is a dying profession. There's not many women who've learned the trade point blank anymore. So everyone who is a sea diver, they're old women. They're women that are dying out, point blank. And then it's going back to when she's 13 and just learning how to be a woman diver with her best friend, Mija. And from what I can tell, it's going to be their life story and how their friendship has developed or is developing and what causes this rift, I'm predicting, in their friendship, so they don't know who each other are later in life. So we'll see how it develops and goes, and I just really want to get this done this weekend, point blank. Now, another book that I have been focusing on the last 2 days or so is 99% by Sally Thorne. And this is a romance, and it's interesting. There's times where this main character, I like her, and then there's times where I absolutely hate her and she gets so annoying to me where, well, the love interest, Tom, is supposedly engaged to this girl, Megan. And I will say I'm about 90 pages into this book, so we'll just leave it at that. So about 1/3. Tom supposedly is engaged to this girl, Megan, and we don't get too much backstory. Tom and our main character have grown up together, blah, 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 best friends with the brother, you know, typical tropes. And so our main character thinks Tom is engaged, and it's clear from a lot of red flags that he's not anymore engaged to Megan. But this main character just loathes Megan. Like, Megan this, Megan that, Megan, like, Megan. And I am getting very sick of this, and how this perfect Megan in her head can never live up to her, and how beautiful and complex and gorgeous this woman is, and she is not. And that's just a whole bunch of things, and it's driving me nuts. And I don't know. I'm flying through this book really fast though, so I imagine I'll finish this book either tonight or tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. So far, not really enjoying it though. Either way, I'm home. I need to relax. It's Friday. So I might check in with you later. I might not. We'll see. But if I don't, I hope you have a wonderful evening. And if I do, we'll see where I'm at with the books. See you later. Good evening. It is still Saturday the 6th, and it was a very busy day after this morning, so I wasn't really able to update you throughout the day. But good things, all good things, good busy. I was able to run my first 10K, which is always exciting, and a great milestone. A great thing is I did finish 99% by Sally Thorne early this morning. And I have to admit, it was a decent romance. I enjoyed it to the extent where I enjoyed myself reading it, but I'd never pick it up again. It was a solid 3-star read for me, but it wouldn't be my first go-to recommendation for other people. I know, I believe it was yesterday's update, I was very much ranting about this Megan character that Tom was supposedly engaged with and clearly broke it off. And it did take a while for that news to update our main character, Darcy, in that book. But it did eventually, and it wasn't dragged off, or it wasn't dragged on too far after I had updated you, so that was good. And then the rest of the book was pretty good. The pacing of this book was fairly decent, so that was also a great plus. And then, it was a cute little romance, I guess. Again, wouldn't be my go-to recommendation, but if you're looking for a decent romance. I guess that would be a good one to choose. I did figure out why I held it at the library though. I was kind of confused myself, but I looked into Sally Thorne as an author, and she wrote The Hating Game, which is a very popular romance on BookTube. And I've been trying to get my hands on it, and it's still on hold on my library. And I believe I still have 2 months left of waiting before I get it. So I must have put The Hating Game on hold and looked to see what else Sally Thorne had written. And 99% is her only other book. So I must have put that guy on hold as well. So there you go. Mystery solved, I guess. But after I had finished 99% this morning, I was able to start My Sister, the Serial Killer, and finish it actually today. It was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. It was only 230 some pages or something, which is great. And honestly, I didn't think the book needed to be any longer than that. I thought the book was a pretty decent size. Something that I really enjoyed about My Sister, the Serial Killer, was the pacing of the book, the chapters. Sometimes when I'm in kind of a reading slump or just needing a good, quick book to read, I need shorter chapters, and that just gets me through quite a bit faster. And this is definitely one book I would recommend if you're in that kind of situation. There's some chapters that are incredibly short, maybe just 1 or 2 pages long. Knowing that I read this over ebook, just as a caveat. But there's other chapters that are quite a bit longer, and the pacing just is beautiful in that sense. But My Sister, the Serial Killer is definitely not what I thought it would be. It is clearly about someone who has a sister who is a serial killer, but I thought it would be more gruesome for some reason, or more about the sister, but it is definitely more about the main character who just so happens to have this sister who is a serial killer and her mental struggle with that. And I actually really enjoyed that take on this book. It wasn't my favorite book by any means. I think I gave it I'm kind of wavering between a 3.5 and a 4. If I'm going to be honest, I just finished it this afternoon, so I haven't had a lot of time to really sit down and think about it. But it was a really, really decent book, and it definitely explored family relationships and right and wrong, taboo topics like, killing, murder, things every family goes through, right? But it is a book I would highly recommend, especially if you really do like family drama books. This is one for you. Even if you're not too fond of horror books, it doesn't dive too deep into horror. It is definitely more on the family drama side of life, book genres, whatever, right? Whatever. So that is my bookish update for the night. I didn't pick up The Island of Sea Woman at all. I did not pick up Lisa C's book at all. And that was supposed to be my priority today. And we'll see if I pick up her book tomorrow. I'm hoping a exciting thing will happen, but we'll see. And I'm hoping I'll be able to take you along with me as well. Again, we'll see. We will see. But you all have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow. Evening, everyone. So today was very, very busy, but I did manage to finish The Island of Sea Women by Lisa C. That is a mouthful. And I have to say, I really, really enjoyed this book. This was something that was a complete surprise to me. And that's one of the reasons why it was taking me so long to get through this book. Was honestly, I didn't think I was really going to like it after a couple pages into it. I picked it up because I was very interested in women divers. I'm pretty sure I've said this a couple of times now. I do a unit on job descriptions for my students, and women divers are one of the jobs that pop up. So for the past couple of years, it's something that's pretty interesting, and it's very, very unique, right? One place in the whole world where this job profession pops up, Jeju Island in South Korea. And this is a book that focuses on these women. However, even in saying that, and knowing what this book is about, I have to preface that it's truly about these two women and their friendship. Young-sok and Mija. It travels throughout their whole lives and the different events that take place. It is historical fiction, and I learned a lot more about Japanese occupation in South Korea and American occupation in South Korea after World War II than I ever knew. And it is, again, specifically about Jeju Island and really what happened in Jeju Island and some of the horrific things that were there. And this is something that I think I really want to dive deeper on and kind of reflect on what I read. I don't think I'll like it any less, but it was a lot to take in. This book had a lot of ups and downs, and it had a lot of just dynamics to think about. Historical fiction. Honestly, Lisa C. is someone that I can see myself reading a lot more of. And as this being my first novel, it was beautiful. As it stands right now, knowing that this is the first night, really within a couple of hours of finishing this book, I think I'm going to give it a 4 or 4.5 stars. Not quite up to a 5-star, but again, I want to think about it more. And I might do a rating review on it, so we'll see. We'll see. But regardless, I highly, highly recommend it. If you're looking for a good historical fiction book, if you're looking for a good just friendship book with incredibly good writing, I would pick this one up. That's just my take. But with that, it is Sunday night and I need to get ready for work tomorrow. So I am going to log off, and I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend as well. And I hope you did something fun or read something good. And I will see you next time. Bye.